Welcome to the Post Ride Podcast. Lee Conn, Ryan Lowis, and myself discuss our amazing motorcycle trip through Spain in late October and early November 2022. This is episode 6. We can talk about going from Lleida to Barcelona.
We booked another one of the hotels on my points. I found this awesome AC hotel on the beach just south of the city.
The hotel was called the Hotel AC Gava Mar. We pulled the bikes up right here in front of it.
We rode up all along the coast and along the beach, which was actually pretty nice.
We saw the Calafell Castle just outside of Barcelona. Found ourselves a castle. Castle Calafell. That was one of those Lee moments where we're riding through this little town. He's like, hey, there's a castle. Let's go check it out. It turned out to be a really cool castle. Ryan tried on the armor and the stuff that was in the castle.
I believe an image will pop up of me with the armor on.
Yeah.
And the sword and crossbow.
Castle was actually pretty neat, and we really started to learn quite a bit about the history and the typical story of Spain, the reasons why they had castles and the invaders coming in. That one was actually nice. That was the real deal. I really enjoyed that.
That was our Highway 1 experience up the coast. We were 600 feet up in the air and riding on a 2-lane road, little traffic, but we were in no rush.
We stopped at a little town for lunch on the coast. We parked the bikes, and then we walked out, found a restaurant. It wasn't great. I think we had calamari.
I still couldn't get you guys to do the squid balls yet, and not at that point. We turned them down, but we got beers. And
remember, we were walking out, and that lady from her balcony waved at you and blew you a kiss or something. At least that's how you interpret it.
That's what I saw with my eyes. I'm not sure that's exactly what happened. We definitely made eye contact, and there was a moment that was fleeting.
Ryan, you mentioned this. There was this piece of road along the coast that we rode that was phenomenal. I really enjoyed that ride.
It was like riding California Highway 1, and after Biarritz the previous day, and it felt a wine country, Sonoma, and then riding inland, it felt going through Helena or something like that in California. It just reminded me of home, just very different at the same time.
That was one of the other themes. You guys have spent so much time riding around Northern California. You guys were frequently referencing, oh, wow, this feels just like Sonoma County. There's just a lot of similarities in culture and climate and even agriculture of Spain and California between the citrus and the olives and the grapes. There's just a lot of similarities, and I think you guys were feeling at home when you weren't sometimes. That's cool.
Yeah, that definitely kept flowing through the whole trip. Was wow, this reminds me a lot of an old version of California with better roads.
Yeah, considerably
way better roads.
Better roads.
We met a civil engineer. We asked him, why are your roads so good? He's, oh, we're good engineers. We spend money on roads. I think part of it, too, is just how you get around in Spain. It's not that big. It's smaller than Texas. They just have perfected road building there. They don't have to build a lot of mega highways like we have. They make really good roads. In some ways, the roads are better than Italy, at least quality.
On the roads, it's funny we're talking about this because I rode out to the Vintage Fest and I took off my helmet, and the very first person I ran into was Alan Cathcart. He was literally like standing beside. We talked, and for a minute, I told him we were going to Spain. After talking to Alan, I was commenting about the roads. Here's a guy who has ridden everything for 30 years and ridden every bike in every county and of all of Europe. And he had some interesting comments about that. I guess there's some of the Europeans are relatively grumpy about the roads in Spain. They came into the European Union. Huge amounts of European dollars in general flooded into Spain. Countries like England and some of these others whose roads have fallen apart. I think there's some politics around how grumpy they are about the beautiful roads in other parts of the country because that's just the way the EU works, the way that the taxes fly around and how they attribute certain dollars to different economies that maybe didn't generate those dollars. That's just some politics that we're not super familiar with. He was a little salty about the beautiful roads in Spain, however awesome they are. The roads in England are completely falling apart. That was an interesting political commentary that he had when he explained maybe why some of that had happened.
Makes sense. It's kind of like Greece running away with a bunch of EU money and going bankrupt.
What I loved was the hotel that Ryan picked was a breath of fresh air, right? It was right on the beach. It was in a little suburby kind of area with a very safe neighborhood, a killer parking garage. The pool was quite beautiful, palm trees everywhere. I think we picked some pomegranates and split up pomegranates just sitting there. Had a couple of juices or whatever we were drinking. And it was just, I think what I needed was just relax for a little while, not in a city.
I remember we were all looking at each other, sitting next to the pool pool, and we had the rest of the day. And we're like, this is what most people do with vacation: is they sit by a pool or they find themselves on a beach. They don't venture and go motorcycle riding.
I loved it. It was like the vacation part of the vacation. We needed a couple days, and we'd been going at it pretty hard the day before and through the Pyrenees. And it was nice just to be able to put your feet up, and you could walk to the beach past the pool. That was killer. That was a really nice hotel, Ryan.
Lots of cats.
Ryan likes cats.
I do like it.
This is what was awesome, though. Once we relaxed for a little while, then we hopped in Uber and actually did head down to Barcelona. By that time, we were starving again. We found people that were hand making those delicious dumplings. We got a few dumplings and we just walked around just picking at different things, which was awesome. We ended up at the large cathedral there. We laughed because I guess they're redoing this cathedral, and it had a very large Samsung sign on the top of it, which was quite funny because it was basically obscuring the whole top half of this beautiful 500-year-old cathedral with a big Samsung sign. We thought it was ironic, and then we realized that wasn't ironic at all. It's the history of the whole thing, right? They've got to fund these big renovations somehow. Maybe this is probably the gentlest way to do it. I thought that was a little funny.
This is very similar to when we were in Madrid. Let's just go into the center part of town and walk around, and we did that in Barcelona. We did that in Madrid. And in Barcelona, the same thing happened. We walked around and we saw a bunch of stuff. And then we did an official tour the next day. We had a really nice time just walking around and checking things out in downtown Barcelona, the old town. And it was great.
That evening was another fun night walking around, nothing on the schedule.
That was the end of that day. And then we're going to come back and we'll do some more of the MotoSpain podcast with Ryan and Lee. And we'll pick up in Barcelona, and then we'll go from Barcelona after we hang out there for a while, and we'll go down to Valencia for MotoGP.